Hello guys, welcome at Permaglück. We're still at the German conference for microfarming and biointensive agriculture. And today we have a very special guest. It's one of the leading permaculture designers of Europe and design educators of Europe. I could tell more and more. He's done a lot of business.
He's just a genius.
Yeah, he's done a lot of
he really
designs
is.
around the globe, and he wrote the book Making Small Farms Work in 2016, I think you published it, yes.
I think so.
And for the last 5 years he established a farm in Sweden, the Richdale Permaculture Farm, which is very an example for a nice permaculture farm for a design. It's amazing.
It's a permaculture education center too.
And we just had a mind-blowing presentation. I knew it would be different than the presentation from JM, but this was wow. I'm so.
We're aspiring, we're aspiring to have a permaculture YouTube channel, but we feel like so dwarfed by the presentation he just gave. That's why I said he's a genius. He really is.
Actually, the questions we had in mind were, I think, now worthless after this presentation. But I'll ask him anyway.
Yeah, we'll ask him anyway.
So the first thing was we had in mind what is actually the difference between I'm talking about the market garden. What is the difference between your system and the system JM taught us?
Well, I think that's, it's pretty straightforward. The way I presented that to the people here today is just, we're trying to marry up the best of ecology and soil care with the best of market garden planning. And if you Google permaculture garden, what you'll tend to find is, funny shaped beds with dozens of species in the same bed, and this is like a homesteading thing. So I think something important to make a distinction between is like homesteading and farming, because when you're doing for your own production, which is what permaculture has mainly been focused on, you don't have to worry about regulations and economy and all that. So as soon as you're farming, i.e. making a living from producing, then you have economy and regulation. There's certain things you can and can't do by law and inspection and all this, but also you need it to be economic. So if you look at the pattern language of all the well-known market gardens, go to Stone and J.M. Fortier and Elliot Coleman, where all that work came from, and ourselves, we're all doing certain things the same. Our beds are the same length, the same width, we use the same tools, we crop at similar spacings, etc. The big difference in what we're doing is what's called no-dig. We're not tilling the soil. We don't dig our beds. We only just put material on the surface, compost, good quality compost on the surface of the beds. And personally, we use wood chips in the pathways to just stop weeds and just keep the soil protected at all times. So that's it's pretty much the only difference. We don't have any tiller and we don't till.
Okay.
And I think for me, it's just about that, marrying the best soil care. How does nature do soil care? She doesn't dig, she repairs damaged soil, she builds it from above. And how do we apply that to good market growing as well?
Okay, thanks. Good.
You said market growing, that's the keyword for my next question. I'm interested in your opinion on how to marry permaculture and business. Why, when do you have to make compromises on the ideology? So what's your advice there?
I think it ties into what we're saying, doesn't it? As soon as it's your livelihood, then you must adhere to certain laws and regulations. And someone was asking a question just now about growing mealworm or insect protein for your poultry, and that's fine on a homestead, and it's practical on a homestead. It's not practical when you have thousands of hens laying eggs. The scale is not appropriate, and it's also illegal to feed a farmed animal to a farmed animal in Europe. So you need to know about different things, and it's all about regulation and economy. And as soon as economy comes in, you're not just growing a bit of salad and a few carrots for yourself. It's very easy to grow vegetables for your family. But it's very hard to make a really good, respectable living growing vegetables for other people. And so that's a big focus on our work, and it's why our work has started to be called more about regenerative agriculture, making the distinction that this is about farming. And I think that a lot of the field leaders are not calling their work permaculture anymore if their focus is on farming. I've kept that in the name, and that was a very conscious choice, because I felt like when I moved to Scandinavia as an Englishman, there wasn't very much going on. There wasn't much permaculture going on. And so I felt like a bit fed up with some of the things that are propagated in the permaculture world because they don't apply to real world production.
It's more about the hobby gardens and the
Yeah,
hobby gardens.
and that's all beautiful and great. But for me, with the interest in farming, I wanted to get into the heads of people who wouldn't be exposed to that otherwise. So I made a conscious choice to keep it called that. And I think if you really study the work of like Mollison, Holmgren, all these people, and really look into their work, I think it all fits together under the same thing. And that's
one compromise I've noticed is that you're having hybrid breeds, chicken, the Lohmann breed, and you're also using F1 seeds. I'm sure. Sometimes. So that's probably one compromise that you have to make when you're running a business, because in your home gardens you would try to raise traditional breeds and you want to save them, and you also don't want to use the F1. That's actually the narrative in the permaculture world, but it's for homesteading, right?
No, not necessarily. We can unpack that a little in the sense that, like in the gardens, we use occasional F1s, but you don't need to use any F1s. It's been useful with certain crops, for example, with kohlrabi, to have very consistent kohlrabi in our climate that are marketable to chefs. It's very helpful. The reason for F1s is to have uniformity and a predictability. You can make a business plan. And if you're selling to chefs, and certainly high-end chefs, you need to deliver quality or you lose that customer straight away because they can get whatever they want. There's nothing wrong with F1s. The thing we were talking about is F1s, the thing that's wrong with them is that these hybrids are usually in the hands of corporations who don't have the values that we share.
And you have to keep buying
returning
them.
them. But there are benefits too. I don't want to be a seed saver. I want to grow market vegetables for sale. So,
it's your context that's different from
exactly.
home garden,
I think if to grow seed is a massive endeavor and takes a lot of skill to do it really well. Actually, saving a few seeds for yourself is easy, but saving professional grade seed is a real skill that needs dedicated people. So I think you don't need any hybrids for vegetable production. That's fine. But in our context with the poultry, we live in Sweden. There's very limited choice. They're the only birds you can actually buy in any larger number. People have all kinds of homestead chickens of all different breeds, but you can't find a flock. So I think that's a big part of it. I think that's affected our choice massively, is that there's a lack of availability that you don't have down here in Germany and parts of Europe where there's, it's more common to have different breeds.
Okay. Thank you.
And the last one is actually, no, it's not the one you're thinking.
Okay.
Not long ago you opened a platform for all the European wannabe becoming market farmers, the farmerstools.com. And when will the stuff be available?
Yes,
the Caterpillar tunnels are already. Yeah.
Caterpillar tunnels can be ordered. We've sent them all over Europe already.
I'm so hungering to.
Yeah, well, all these tools are here. I have my update for people that are interested. Is all the tools are with me, except the paper pot tools. They are on the boats just in the middle of the Pacific right now, but they will be here in early December. The issue has been getting online shipping because the way online shipping works is very convoluted. It takes a long time to get sorted with companies, and the pricing is very different across Europe, and it takes a lot to get that bit set up when you do that as an individual online business. So I want it up and running as soon as we can. I'm hoping it's within this tax year, and I have all the tools, and the pricing will be very good. It'll be cheaper than you can find any of those tools on your own anywhere else. So
that leaves us with hoping that they're not sold out right away.
Might be.
Yeah.
So keep this address in mind: thefarmerstools.com.
Yeah.
And even keep in mind his book is to order.
You'll find links to that, and you'll find us on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. You'll find through that link, so you can whack in the notes and whatever.
And you can also visit him in Sweden and get a permaculture design course done. And you
sometimes
and do an internship sometimes, and follow a lecture sometimes. So there's really much to learn about permaculture in business, in farming business. And he's the perfect guy in
he's genius. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you
so
guys.
much.
And that you were here in Sweden.
See you next
time.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.